can take it.
Okay. It comes from a cow?
It comes from a cow.
It's dyed.
Yeah. And when does it come from a cow?
Well, hopefully after it's dead.
Yeah.
After it's been slaughtered. Okay.
Yes, and because it comes from a cow, it's like human leather.
Yeah.
This part can be smooth, the other parts can be a little bit rough, other part can be more smoother. So I think that's
right. But the trouble is, as soon as the cow is slaughtered, what they do is they open it, of course. They get all the interior stuff outside because they can use it for meat or whatever there is. And the outside is just the skin, the big complete skin. The trouble is the skin is still full of water and other things, so it's quite heavy because, as we know, we exist for 70% of water, so that's it. Just first what they do is they dry out the skin, they make it smooth and whatever is needed, because those skins come from a slaughter, from a slachterij, from a slaughtery, but they have to go to a tannery. They should be transported. Normally these skins might be very thick, so before they ship them, they can even split them in two sides. You have the top side and you have underneath. Underneath is only veins, what we call veins. You can see the nerves is still in there, or whatever the rest is. Okay. The color is mostly then kind of gray or a kind of beige, that is, depends on. Now, when these skins are dry, they can just transport them to a tannery. We know our leather come mostly, not this one, but mostly, it comes from cows from Argentina, because they have a lot of cows there. There are also local cows in other countries, but this is what I was talking about. And the best tanneries for us are still in Italy. In the north of Italy you have a river called the Arno, and there is a place called Croce del Arno, the cross at the river Arno, but that water is marvelous for tannery, and if you go to that area you find a whole industry of tanneries and different names. We do a lot of business with diapel, and diapel is a combination. Pel comes from pelle, that is skin, and dia is whatever the family name of it. Now, when these skins arrive, they need to be treated, to be tanned. So they are dried, they need to be washed. Often when you have the outside, the hair is still on it. They can remove it with chemicals, or sometimes not, but that's another history. And inside there often meat rests which should be finished, cleaned or whatever. And when that is done and dried again, they can choose for two different types of tanning. And tanning goes mostly into very big barrels. It takes times. And if you need, for instance, the Italian leather, which is mostly tanned on the base of a vegetal system. That means vegetal things you get from trees, from whatever, but it makes the leather quite stiff. It's very handy because when you need it for belts or for, we say garments for horses, saddles and so on, you need a strong quality. Besides that, you can make it a little bit softer, and that is what the Janet leather happens. Then they makes it more oily and softly. We call it vet leather, but vet means in Dutch not only gaudy, but it also means vet is like oil. Yeah. So that's one system. But for the Napa system, they need a different treatment, and that's mostly on what I told here about a tanning on basis of chromides. And chromides, they come from minerals, they come from the earth, they come from several things, but that gives a very soft system. The advantage of vegetable tanning is that you can dye it in a way of spraying it, so you keep, like I showed you, the whatever is visible, or you can just put more color on it, sometimes hand by done by hand. We call it hand-dyed leather, or they put some glossy on it like we have in the Italian leather. Because here, you can see, this is partly dyed in a way, but maybe under control of hand leather, but you still see whatever is visible. But the trouble is, you see also the small remarks. Yeah. Because this part of the leather, they call it in Italy avancorpi, and that means that is the shoulder part of a cow. Part of the neck, the head was here, and one leg was there, and one leg was there. And this is very soft and smooth leather, but it gives a very special, yeah, but never go to a slaughtery because it's,
The wrinkles
yeah,
in the neck.
the wrinkles are from the neck. Yeah, but some people like it because it gives extra power, but when we have to cut, for instance, a bureau desk, we always ask the client if you want it just with that special atmosphere, we cut it right in the middle. But for a writing case, not everybody is pleased, so sometimes, and you've seen with the kader, what we call, for a big writing case, we put it on top and then say, well, this could be the front and this could be the back. But it's always a trouble that leather is pure, leather is natural. When you take what we call the Napa treatment, like you've seen like the grey leather, and I showed you the difference, then it is on that base of chromite, it's very soft, it's very smooth, and they mostly dye it all over. And there are special treatments that you do it halfway, then you still see the spots. That's what we do with all that collection which hang there. And if we are talking here about the other type, like we say, like the one you have, and that is more smooth, and so you don't see so many spots. And that is the main thing about the tanning, and I told it means only just like a mummy, you what do you say, it mummifies a mummy, a body, and the leather is just made that way that is conserved to be protected against rain, against dryness, against dust, and whatever. Only it's very important if you use it, for instance, for shoes, you should polish it or keep it soft. And that's why you put cream on it with a little bit of oil in it or whatever. But it's the same with our skin. When we lay in the sun, it might dry out. So you put some cream on it. It's the same thing. But the advantage is that you get a beautiful article like you have, and you can even cuddle it, you can use it, you can feel it, because it's natural. And that's why we are proud that we chose for the best we can. That's the same what we use for the lion, for the prim buttons as well, and for the mechanism which come, funnily enough, from Germany, because they have the best quality, and that's the same for the buttons or whatever. And that's it. And the yarn is synthetic, but comes from?
Amman. Amman garen.
Ja, maar welk land?
Volgens mij Zwitserland.
Switzerland. Yeah, that's so. Okay. And what I told you about when they split the hide, they can use that part too. It follows the same treatment, but it has no top because it's only veins, and that's what they can use a beautiful top on it, as mostly a PU, dus een polyurethane top, but it doesn't look that nice, and it is a bit dull, but it's much cheaper because it's only a second. But nevertheless, it's useless. You can use it. And from this kind of leather, they can even split it. And I know there's a company in Italy, the Bridge, and they use only, and it's at both sides as this is, and they use it for separation covers in big bags and so on. So they can use leather in many purposes. But I'm still proud, and we are still proud that we can work with this stuff and that we can please you with a beautiful product. That's it.
Yeah.
And
We
that's
are
all
proud.
written. That's all written in here, so you can tell everybody. Because now you know. Also, I've been several times on trade fairs, especially in Germany, but even also in Valencia, and they were saying, "Oh, you can make this just 2 pieces of leather. You stitch them together, and you have a whole wallet." Yeah. Just like you now have seen that. You may have it in your mind. How many pieces is just needed
14.
for the 334B? Huh? How many was it?
14, yeah.
14. That's a big combination. You know, those things, well, but I like it.